All right, everyone. I think we have a lot of community members on board. I guess people will also join in a bit. So let's kickstart the meeting. Dr. Krill is sharing the meet in the office our world in world. So if you're in the client, make sure to jump in and you can watch this meet from the central end. So let me share the Slido link and the code in case you have any questions. We'll go over this at the end of the meet. And we'll be starting our 12th Decentraland All Hands, reviewing all the updates from the last dev cycles and starting. You can also scan the QR code if you want. And the first one would be marketing and event updates. So Master or Kim, who would like to go with the updates from the marketing side?
Hey everyone, can you hear me?
Yeah, all good.
Awesome. So we've had a very busy first few months on the marketing side. So wanted to give you guys some updates on just what we've been up to and where we're moving from here. So we are launching a new strategy now that is kind of refined efforts for targeting. The first phase, which I called kind of learning and growing, January through June, which was really like awareness. Decentraland 2.0 is live, making sure people knew we were here, we were building, we were doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes last year, and now like it's ready to go. We're closer to feature parity. The world is rendering as we were hoping. So the vision is coming to life. And then we did lots and lots of testing and learning on different ad platforms. I know some of you saw some of our ads and were sending me messages, which is great. We had partnerships with Brave. We did stuff on YouTube, on Google. And so we learned a lot. We tested different campaigns. We did general brand awareness. We did download efforts. We did stuff about making new friends. We did individual events. So lots of learnings on our side, which was really cool. We also did some tests where we were able to retarget people that own Mana that used to come to Decentraland but haven't in a while. So we call those re-engaged users, which has been awesome. We're getting a lot of re-engaged users. So if anyone has recently come back, welcome back. We're excited to show you all that has been done in the past few months. Um, and targeting people from the email list. So if you're not on our email list, definitely make sure you're there because we give a lot of different updates. It goes out every Thursday. So that was kind of phase one. I know many of you have been super helpful. So thank you so much in welcoming new users to the community. I see some of them here with us today, and it's been a lot of fun being able to show off all of the amazing things you all have built as 3D world builders. So phase two is July through December, and we are really focusing, as you'll see in the product stuff, on onboarding. So how can we make that process even more smooth? How can we onboard specific groups to specific events and scenes? So if we know there are people out there that are looking for a digital party, awesome. How can we send them to On Monday or Make a Beast party? If we know there are people that love chess, how could we send them to the chess events and start getting a little bit more specific on what we send people to kind of curate their experience from the get-go. Communities is coming soon. I will let the product team talk more about this, but that will have an intentional marketing focus where we try to find the right people for the right communities and bring them directly there. And then partnerships, UGC and influencer content. Um, to get more out from beyond just the Decentraland accounts to that broader audience. And when I say that, I'm definitely thinking about some of you. Like, you all are influencers in your own right. You have your own audience. You've been doing a lot of amazing content. I see Toxic's content all the time. I see so many of you here creating really cool stuff. And I want to make sure we are giving you the right um, tools, platforms, and channels to amplify that. So stay tuned for more social content opportunities as well. So that is kind of the strategy for how we bring people in. So if you all are curious how that's working, I'm around for more questions, but I didn't want to get too deep because we have some amazing product stuff coming up. And then key events. Really, we work with Bay, who obviously produces all of these amazing key events, to say, what can we do to showcase what's possible and highlight like new product initiatives or new opportunities for the community. So I took some screenshots during the game night, and I just want to say thank you all for coming, for playing, for bringing a friend, and just having a good time. I think it was an awesome opportunity to show what could be possible from a gaming experience. I know many people had mentioned they were inspired, they're excited. And so we think the game arena is super fun if there were people playing together when we all were in there in world. Like, it was some of the most fun I've had in Decentraland. And so we want to make sure you all know that game arena is there. Feel free to schedule time to jump in with people and all go play together, try to climb that leaderboard. We know people were enjoying it because they stayed longer than they do in our typical scenes. 45 minutes is normal, 61 minutes was that. Um, and you guys were getting, I loved the like community smack talk, the encouragement, the spectators all being a part of it. We had like almost 7,000 messages just during that 24-hour event. So, really amazing way to see kind of how that has all come together. Can you do the next slide, Stoyan? Perfect. Um, so the takeaway from there on our side was like simple games can be really, really fun. I think sometimes we overcomplicate in general, just as creators. We get so excited of all the possibilities. So just set events to jump in and play. Be inspired to create your own simple social games. And we are working behind the scenes on thinking about what could be the next game jam and how could that come to life for all of you. So, collaborating a lot with Nico and Bay to work on something for later this year. So, just keep your eyes kind of peeled for that. We know everyone has been asking if we can get a game jam in this year. So, the answer is we are working on it. So, what's coming up next? Obviously, a lot of great events already happened this year. And then Career Quest is the 16th and 17th of this month. Keep that on your radar. Art Week, Fright Night, Music Fest, and Live Music Trail. So, diving a little bit more into Career Quest. This is real career opportunities for people. And so, really wanted to highlight what's possible here. Paze, can we go to the next slide? So this event will have a focus on educational content. So as you've seen, probably we have three key partners, but we're also bringing in other experts for these expert workshops. Bay has put together an amazing program. I can't wait for you all to see it. It'll be on our website very, very soon. We have hiring insights. We've interviewed people from all different positions in Web3 to kind of give a how did you get here? How do you build? Are you an engineer, coder? What advice do you have? We have scholarship and boot camp opportunities. I'll get to that in a minute. And then we are going to reuse the game arena, and that trivia that we all were playing is going to be turned into Web3 knowledge and more stuff for you to be able to learn in world, which will be a lot of fun. And so we would love your help spreading the word if you know people that are looking to learn about Web3, building in virtual worlds, and new opportunities. This will be a great place to do it. We will do meet the teams with our partners who are some of the biggest hiring groups in this space. So, scheduled to come, we will do a whole Discord post all about it, but bookmark the 16th and 17th. And then the next slide, this is a really big opportunity. Kudos to Bay for locking this in, but Metana has this full stack Web3 bootcamp. It is multiple months. It's an amazing immersive opportunity. We are able to give away 2 scholarships to this. Part of how you will earn this is by attending Career Quest. We bulleted here exactly how you do it, but it's also listed in the blog itself. So, would love to be able to give this to someone in our community who is really looking to up level. This is an expensive boot camp. It's about $12,000 if you wanted to do it individually. So, really excited to be able to cover those fees and get someone in there. to really, make your Web3 job dreams come true here. They also guarantee a job placement for anyone that participates. So huge opportunity, um, and really grateful to Matana for partnering with us on that. The second one is SheFi, which we just announced. It was a lead up to this event. And so drum roll, the SheFi winners were Mary Shark and Crypto Angel. So just huge congrats if you talk to them. We're really excited to be sending them to cohort or season 14 at SheFi, which kicks off in a few weeks, and then they will learn all things Web3, DeFi, and building. And then we're partnering with SheFi to host the graduation party for the SheFi cohort in Q3. What's amazing is their applications are still rolling, but I know they have over 1,000 people that will be part of this program. So, a really amazing way to welcome them to Decentraland. Part of this partnership is everyone going through season 14 will get an entire course all about Decentraland. So, really fun, integrated, real life partnership where we teach them about our space, give them the opportunities to understand what they can build here, and then welcome them in with a party to meet all of you. So, really, really excited. I know some of you also applied to SheFi individually. Kanessa, I think I've seen a few others. Cheddar has done it. Dana has done it. And I'm super honored to be able to get our community more of these opportunities for you to continue to grow. So, really pumped, and we will all plan to hang out at the graduation party. And then Art Week is the next one. So, congratulations to everyone that submitted. There's amazing proposals in here. We had two open calls, one for artists and studios as part of our Creator Connect program, and one for 3D builders. We had over 75 submissions. So, just like kudos to everyone, a lot of interest in this, and we were able to select 20 for this, but we are also talking to some of these about how we can roll them into a future event and program. If you weren't selected but want to be a part of this in some other way, or you have a different idea for Art Week, feel free to email Bay with your proposal. Try to be as specific as you can, but let her know kind of what you were thinking, and we can work on how that fits into official programming. The event is September 24th through 27th. So there is some time, but we are really locking the program. So if you have an idea, now is the time to get in front of Bay. That is all for the marketing updates. If you have questions, feel free to drop them in the Slido, and passing it over to community.
Thanks, Kim. Super exciting stuff from the marketing team. From our side, we do have just a couple of quick reminders and updates. As most of you already know, we have been doing the Creators Academy workshops for the past 4 months. We already had a few amazing sessions, couple of workshops on creating wearables with Rustan as well as with Dr. Drip. If you missed those, we have the recordings on YouTube in our Decentraland channel, so make sure to go and check those out. I did a Blender workshop last week. The recording of that one is coming up in the next couple of days. And also with Dr. Krill, we are working on some amazing sessions that we have planned for the next 2-3 months. So stay tuned for the announcement. We'll make one once everything has been finalized. But just to give you a heads up, it will be focused on scene creation, a series of workshops on that with one amazing creator from the community. So stay tuned. There is a very good chance that it will be 2 sessions per month instead of the usual just one. So thanks in advance for joining those, and stay tuned. The second update, and more kind of like a heads up, you know that Dr. Krill, our dev relations specialist, has been organizing office hours events twice per week in Discord. Also, the Thursday one is done in World, so it's streamed in the office hours World as well. So if you have any tech related questions, if you have any blockers when you're creating your scene, or you just want to discuss something, please jump in those meetings Tuesday and Thursday. You can check the event time in Discord. Dr. K will be more than happy to talk anything scene creation related with all of you from the community. So would really love to see you join those sessions. So that was from my side, and passing the ball to the product team.
Thank you, Kase. Hello, everyone. So today, me and Olabra and Nico will be presenting product updates from the past cycle and from the one that is starting next week. So let's get to it. To share a little bit about the strategies that we have been following during cycle 12, which is the one that has already finished. And also for the next cycle, it's starting on Monday, cycle 13. We are focusing on these three key areas. We are doubling down on social features like communities and other interesting stuff that we'll be presenting soon after this. We keep polishing and fixing bugs. We know there's still, even though we're way better than a few months ago, we know and we are 100% conscious that there are still many bugs and rough edges that still needs to be polishing. So we are focusing part of an interesting part of the team on fixing and polishing all of this stuff. And lastly, as Kim was mentioning before, we're also focusing on onboarding, trying to make the experience for a new user joining the Decentraland for the first time as smooth as possible. So we are testing a few changes that we are pretty confident that should work pretty well. So let's get into the initiatives that will help us drive into that vision. These are the features that were already released or are being released really soon. So we have different ones for all users and some for creators. So let's start with the features that apply for all the users, basically. So as you know already, we launched Marketplace Credits with this nice promo video. I think I would like to say that everyone here is already aware of this. If you're not, just go in World and check it out. It's on the top left corner. There's a nice icon with the logo of the Marketplace Credits, and you can start earning credits. I know some of you have been saving. I've been saving myself, and I have a few emotes and what else that I'm saving for. I'm looking forward to get really soon. So yeah, check it out if you didn't yet. Another detail that we released during this cycle was a redesign on the deep links pages, both for events and scenes. So here are the URLs that you can check. We made them as easy as possible, so you can share. And we are also working on adding a few buttons inside the clients and make it as easy to share as possible. And I put in yellow there the parameter that you need to change, or the data you need to put from your event in particular, or your scene in particular, or your world, in order for this URL to work. If not, the folks from the support team can help you out. But basically, if you have an event, you can use that URL and use the event ID, which is on the events page. For a scene in J City, it's just the position. And for a world, it's just the name of the world, always with a /jump parameter in the URL. So it's looking better, has some new information related to the people that are attending. If the event is already live, we also show how many people are there in real time. So it's a nice improvement. Following up, we added a very cool new feature on the login page. We are animating the avatar. Take a look at the face of my avatar and the mouse, the cursor. He's looking at it. Very similar to MetaMask if you use that wallet. But it's a nice gesture, and also including a few emotes. If you can play the video again, at the beginning it shows like a small wave animation. Then it follows you all around. You can still turn the avatar if you drag and drop. And at the end, when you click on jump in, it shows another nice animation. And now in the video show it's a little bit cut, but that's already been fixed. So that's a small detail. Another visual improvement that we introduced this cycle, this is going to be live I think today. It's new loading screens, a little bit brighter. You cannot appreciate the brightness here, but it looks shinier with bigger images and a bigger loading bar. We knew that some people didn't notice that it was actually something was loading. So that's this is simply a visual improvement, but it's something nice when you are entering the client, and we are also updating the information in the cards. Next slide, please. This is another small improvement. It was kind of hard to show it in a video, but basically, if you are moving between scenes, there's a fade out effect and a fade in effect of the sounds and the music when you are transitioning between each other. We're fine tuning this behavior, and it works pretty nicely. If you find those scenes playing music at the same time, you can check it out in Word. It's already in production. And this is a very interesting feature that we're going to release pretty soon. I'm going to share the date. But basically, if we start that video, that's on the profile page. We're going to add this new section where you can get your own personal link, and you can share this with people that you want to invite for the Decentraland. I'm not going to spoil too much the prices. You can see a glimpse a little bit there, but there are many cool wearables. These are exclusive collections, exclusive emotes collections, and depending on how many people you invite to the Decentraland, how many new users that enter the world you invite to the Decentraland, you will get different tiers of prices, also badges, and at the end there's the last price. If you invite I think it's 100 people, I don't remember exactly the number, it's a pretty nice price, but I'm not going to spoil it. I'm going to save the secret for later when we release this, but hopefully you can start referring this. One small comment, it's fine, you can play that video. This is when you share this link, this is what the new user will see. They will see your avatar and your name. So this is also a personalized invitation. And when a user clicks on join now, they will create their account, they will create their avatar, and then they will download the Decentraland and jump in. Once the new user jump in, this will count as a successful referral for you. So that's the condition to get points in the tiers and moving forward for the rewards. And if we do one more click, you will see. You should see go one more. There's titles. Just go click one more. So this is launching. No, one less. This is launching. That's fine. Sorry. This is launching on July 7th. This is next Monday. So stay tuned. Of course, we'll be letting you know in socials and in Discord and so on. So stay tuned, and you will be able to see the prices that you can get, and start inviting your friends. I'm passing it over to Laura. I don't hear him. I don't know if I'm the only one.
Yeah, not yet.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, all good.
Yes.
Okay, sorry, I messed up with the Oculus that I connected, and it was the input source. So hello everybody. So as we mentioned in the previous community all hands, during this cycle we're going to be working on private voice chat. This is like the first stepping stone for all the voice plans that we have. In this case, we wanted to be able to start voice chat with a friend, with another player. You can only have one conversation at a time. So if someone is already in a conversation, you won't be able to call them. And also we have new settings for input and output devices, so you can define your microphone exactly as I did on Discord right now. And as I said, we are preparing the ground for bigger features, but this is better a feature that is better to be heard than shown. So Kase, can you go to the next slide and put the audio on, please?
Give me 1 sec.
Hello. We're gonna be showcasing how the new voice chat functionality for private conversations works in the Explorer. So there is a Kase, I think you need to mute yourself because okay, yeah. Or no.
No,
Don't mute the video, mute yourself.
I don't think you'll be able to hear the video if I mute myself, but
Really? Yeah, I hear the double of a player and hitting there. I will call from here and call friend. You can see that there is a new voice module on the top. Let's see if it picks it up. Okay, it picked it up. It is connecting.
Oh, Alvaro, what's this?
This is the magic of voice chat, man. We have implemented voice chat in the Explorer finally.
It's amazing. I mean, I saw the noise sounding and the light flashing and everything, and it's great.
It's pretty exciting. So what you see on top of the chat is the voice module. From there, you have several controls, one for canceling the call. And also you have a little microphone to mute and unmute yourself. You can also press T to do that. And if you are mute, you can hold T in order to push to talk and then release it and it will be mute back. So, okay, dude, I'm really excited about this. So I'm gonna call Davide.
Okay, yeah, it's amazing. Call him. Bye,
Okay.
bye, man.
See you, man. Bye. So, so he canceled the call. I'm gonna call Davide now, and oh, yeah, but unfortunately he's in another call. So basically, we're gonna have more than one call at a time. Hey, can you call me back? Yeah. So this is an incoming call, and I can accept the call or reject it. I'm gonna join the call. Hey, dude.
Hey, hello. ¿Qué pasa?
What's up?
All good?
Yeah, dude, you know that we have voice chat in the Explorer?
Yeah, we've been coding this the past 2 months, roughly.
Oh, yeah, that's true. It was both of you. Okay. Don't worry. Thank you very much. See ya.
See you later. Bye bye.
Okay, that's it. Okay, that was our little performance there. Can you go to the next slide, please? So this is not ready yet. We need to spend another half of a cycle to improve some of the things related to the noise and echo cancellation, and also for Mac users. And there is a little bit of a gap, a delay in the sound whenever you're having a conversations. We're gonna be updating to the latest version of LightKit, so hopefully we can be releasing this mid next cycle. So it's probably in a month or something like that. Next one, please. So we finally started Communities V1, the first version of Communities. So so far, you will be able to create a community as long as you have a name. It doesn't matter how many names you have. As long as you have one name, you will be able to create as much as you want. We focus on this first iteration on creating public communities. And you will be able to add places, invite players, browse other communities. But it's better to show that in a video that I have prepared. So this doesn't have an audio, so I will be speaking over. So as you can see, we will have a new section on the left side that can be accessed by the start menu. So if you click on that, it will open the community browser. Here you can find all the public communities. and you can directly join them by clicking on the join button, or you can click on the card to open the profile. And you will see their name, description so far, the list of members from here. You can add as friends or do any kind of action that you can usually do on top of other users. And we also have a section for the places that are linked to the community. Also, you will be able to like and add a favorite or share to social media. Also, we have the photo section. That is all the photos that are linked, public photos that are linked to those places. And as well, the events that are part of, that are going to be taking place in these places inside the community. So I like this community. I'm going to join it. And that going to goes into my community list here. I can extend that view by clicking on View All. That's basically filtering that into the main panel. And I can also specifically go and search for one community by name. So it's going to be filtering those. And I can also, if I have a name, I can create a community. It will prompt this editor, this wizard, and with the name, the description, and the places that can be added. Let's do one right now. So I can select the thumbnail, add a name that's going to be Alvaro's Hideout, a short description that is going to be visible to everybody in this community browser card. And in this dropdown, I have all the places that are linked to my account, including worlds and places that I have operator rights. So I'm going to be adding all of them. And as soon as the community is created, you will see that there is information that has been automatically linked. Obviously, I'm the only one, the only member of that community. But you will see that, well, I can add more places here. But information like upcoming events or the photo gallery are already automatically linked through those places. One additional great feature that these communities have is that as soon as I join a public community, that will open a group chat that will be added to my conversation list. So for example, I jumped into the Héroes community. I know Santi's there, so he welcomed me. So I'm gonna take this opportunity so he joins my community. Okay, so if I click on my community, you will see that I have this group chat, and on the top, only have one member that is basically Santi that is already there talking. So I know that he's already there. So I'm gonna open the community card, and I can see that Santi is a member. From here, I have, as an owner of the community, have several options like promoting him to moderator or remove the member from the community. I'm gonna, for now, I'm gonna promote it as moderator, so you can see what it does. It's basically gonna have the same permission as I do, but changing the name and removing the community. But as I'm gonna showcase this, I'm gonna ban Santi. This first user is gonna be banned from the community, and that gonna goes to the ban list. That means that Santi won't be able to see this community anymore in the community browser, and it won't be able to join back unless I remove him from the ban list. And that's all that we have so far for communities on this first iteration. Please go to the next one. So we weren't able to really squeeze all of this into one cycle. So we're gonna use a short cycle at the beginning of this one to do bug fixing, polishing some UX and UI workflows. There is missing functionality like being able to add places with operator rights. And for example, being able to create an event that is directly attached to the community instead of having that relation with the place. So you can create an event anywhere in the world and link it to your community directly. We will be working on that. I will explain a little bit more later. If you want to be part of this alpha or you want to start creating your community already, we maybe open this 2 weeks before it goes to production. So yeah, we can start having your communities there. Next, please. Oh, so now it's Nico for creators.
Hey there. Thanks, Alvaro. So Nico here. I'm going to share some updates about things that are relevant to content creators. So next slide, please. Most of the things that we've been working on in this cycle have to do more with bug fixing and polishing. So this first thing has to do with being able to do scene emotes when you're running preview. We had a problem in the past where it wasn't possible to run what we call scene emotes, which is running an emote from a file in your scene. So now it is possible to do this. And as an added bonus, now we can also run emotes that include props. So these can include things like in this animation here, where there's more than just the avatar moving, there's also added meshes and things that are animated. So you can now not just do this with emotes that belong to an NFT, but also with emotes that are uploaded to a scene as a file. And also related to this, we also fixed the flow for being able to preview emotes, unpublished emotes in the new Explorer. So when you're building your own emotes and testing them out, you're no longer limited to just seeing them in the old Web Explorer. You can also see them with the new Decentraland Explorer. So next slide, please. This other thing also has to do very much with emotes, but this is not about emotes that are added by a content creator to the scene, but rather this is about the existing default emotes which are available to content creators all the time. So up until now, we were only able to run what players have as custom emotes, which includes a few things like, dancing and such. But we added a few other modes which involve more actions that have to do with interacting with the world. So all of these emotes can now be included by a creator of a scene, and they can be called either via code or via the creator hub, via an action. And these include sitting, which is a particularly important one. So you can sit in the ground or on the floor. Here are the same emotes, but just played from a different angle. So they include also a number of things that we think are common mechanics, like opening doors, getting hit, hitting, using a one-handed weapon or a two-handed weapon. And of course, these are all, we try to be as, as neutral as we could, in the sense that we were trying to make these usable in all sorts of scenarios. So for example, when you're, swinging with a weapon, you don't have an actual weapon on you, so that a creator can add whatever they want on the hand. So yeah, sitting is by far the most exciting part. As a side project, I'm working also on a few chair sub-smart items. We'll soon be seeing those, I hope, in a very short time. So next slide, please. So next is a bit of a mixed bag of improvements that we've been doing with the Creator Hub, but the most, what I feel is the most significant change is changes that we've done with the whole install and update flow. So right now you can click this check for updates button there in the settings, which is new, and that will just download and install the new version of the Creator Hub if there is a new release to be done. In the past, this whole flow was very confusing and very unclear, and especially it was very, very slow. So I have not accelerated this video at all. I left it taking, the actual amount of time that it takes, just to show how much of an improvement this is. If you've installed the Creator Hub before, you may have run into the fact that it takes 10, maybe 15 minutes to install, which is kind of crazy. And to the point that it's sometimes, like, to some people might feel that something is broken. But no, now with this flow, it takes under a minute. Also when you're doing updates. So this will, really help the app just, feel a lot more sturdy. So yeah, let's stay on the slide, but was a video. So there's a number of other improvements that we've been doing. For example, now it's possible to control the camera with, even if you don't have a mouse, because we changed something about the interaction where you had to click the right mouse button in order to change the camera angle. And yeah, that of course was not great for people who didn't have a mouse and use a trackpad. So now you can also click Alt as an alternative. We also did some fixes with camera collisions, which was a recurring problem that, sometimes the camera would go through walls. And now the default of adding anything to your scene doesn't have that problem. And there's quite a bunch of other fixes that we've also been working on. I won't go into details because I don't want to make this too long. But yes, this is very much an ongoing thing, but a lot has improved. Next slide, please. So this is the most exciting one for me. So this has to do with allowing you to set a fixed time of day in your scene. So for example, you could have a nightclub where it's always night, or if you build a sculpture where, say, it looks especially good with the light from a certain angle, then you can, set that as the permanent skybox time for whenever someone enters your scene. And in the past, we had this in the old client, but it was only restricted to being usable in worlds because of how transitions were a bit tricky. Now this is no longer a problem. Now we can do we do automatic transitions whenever you enter or leave a scene that includes this. Sorry, oh, there we go. There's a video back. Is there a problem with the video, or am I just not seeing it myself? Yeah, or maybe the night mode came too swiftly and went entirely dark. So whenever we were transitioning from day to night, we are adding smooth transitions. And besides having scenes that have a fixed time of day, we are also adding the feature of allowing the scene to change the time of day dynamically. So in this other scene, if there's this little UI, which is part of the scene that we're using for testing here, we are able to just swap the time of day as part of the scene mechanics, and that can be controlled freely by the creator of the scene. So for example, if you're doing a DJ set, you might want to make the sun come up at the perfect time of the set, or when the music ends, or use it narratively. You can also change if the sun goes forwards or backwards. You could maybe use this to have, I don't know, like a narrative around time travel and going back in time, so you see the sun go in the opposite direction, or like that allows for quite a bit of freedom. So yeah, the video is a bit long. The creator who did this got really excited about playing around with this. We can skip to the next slide. The next slide includes a couple of bonus features. These are not large things. In fact, we didn't do these as shapes, but we added them in between. But I think they're really nice additions. One has to do with having information about the cursor position, which is something that we never had. Since we freed the cursor and allowed the players to click in world, not necessarily in the, where their center of the screen was aiming, we were not exposing this information to the SDK, and now we can. And this allows you to build all sorts of mechanics. In this little template scene that I quickly put together, we're kind of mining minerals in an alien planet, and I'm seeing what the cursor position is pointing at, even if it's not in the center of the screen. So this serves both for UI interactions and for in-world interactions. And the other two little things is that we added properties for the UI as a z-index and opacity properties, which are things that we didn't have. They were pretty standard and basic things that we really needed. So now it's possible to customize UIs further. So yeah, that's all for me for this cycle. Thanks. Next slide.
Amazing. So far, these are the initiatives that we've been working on for the past 2 months. So now let's see a little bit into the future. We're starting the next cycle, number 13, next Monday. So some of these initiatives will be released towards the end of July, and the rest towards the end of August. Of course, we'll be letting you know as soon as we know the dates, and stay tuned for the marketing communications. I have only one small feature to comment, and then I will pass it back to Nico and Alor. Next one, please. Yeah. So this one is for new users in particular. As we mentioned a few times today, we're doing more efforts to make the new users journey as easy as we can. So we're introducing a new change. If we go to the next slide, please. That's it. Here. We're introducing a new change, pretty drastic for the onboarding. So most of us here are already users from a long time. So probably you don't see this unless you create a new account. You can still feel free to check it out. But the people you refer in a few months and the new users coming to Decentraland, we know that the avatar is such an important part of the Decentraland, right? Like we identify with our avatars. They're part of our digital identity. So that was not part of the process when you are a new user. At the moment, you can create your avatar from the website as soon as you start signing up, but it wasn't really customizable. Like it's, if you don't remember, it was just a randomize button, and several variations of the avatar were popping up in a random manner. But we understand that people were not feeling attached to that avatar, and that avatar then goes with you for the tutorial until you land in Genesis Plaza, and until the new user figures out that they can actually customize it even further. It might take a long time, and it's very likely that they drop before even getting to that part. So we're introducing this avatar customization pretty early in the flow. So the idea is that when a new user comes into the central, instead of downloading first, which we know is a big friction, they will be able to sign in with the same methods that we currently have. And right away, they will be able to customize their avatar. This is a mock-up, so this is not the design you see here is just a reference, but the idea is that we can provide a really nice experience, focus on the user, so they can choose form, the colors of the skin, the facial features, all the wearables. So we're trying to make a really smooth experience and changing the flow. So this one in particular is going to be launched towards the end of July, and then we're going to swap the order of the onboarding flow for new users towards the end of the cycle. And of course, the target with this is to make the onboarding experience for new users way better and targeting for higher conversion rates. So we're very confident on this change. We'll let you know once this is live, but hopefully we can make it easy for newcomers in the central. Passing it back to you, Alvaro.
Okay, so next slide, please. First thing that we're going to be working on the next cycle is to dedicate a short cycle, short shape to do chat improvements. There is a few things that we want to tackle. First is conversation sorting. Right now that we have private conversation and that we're going to be having group for communities, being able to have them sorting automatically by the latest message or the newest message is going to be the best approach. So we're going to be doing that. Also, we find out that it's quite hard to see offline conversations when you're having a private conversation with someone that actually went offline, or you saw a message in the nearby channel from someone that is not there anymore. We're going to be highlighting those ones as offline. Previously, we only had notifications for everything, either nearby and old private conversations. You can disable them, but now it's gonna be much more customizable. So you're gonna be able to disable the notifications per conversation, per community, and per nearby channel. Also, we're gonna be adding a reply message because in communities, group chat, and nearby channels, it's sometimes hard to reply to a specific message from another person. So we're gonna have this functionality expected to be similar to what you do on WhatsApp, Telegram, or any other. Also, we find out that whenever someone mentioned you in a private or a group conversation, the notification, it's not really different. So we're gonna highlight notifications from conversations that you're not looking at that have mentions in a better way. And we're going to be adding message and daytime that we missed. That it was a legacy thing that we missed. Okay, next one. Of course, we're going to continue working on community. So first part of the cycle is going to be about publishing the public communities. We expect to have that by the beginning of August. As I mentioned before, it's going to be polishing UI and UX, fixing bugs. We need to work on community notifications. So it means that every time that you create an event or an event is about to start or stuff like that is relevant inside of your community, all community members are going to receive an email notification about it. We also are going to be adding this functionality to the event page. So you will be able to create an event directly from the community. It will take you to the event page. Or whenever you are creating an event, you will be able to select the community that is associated to. So you can create an event in any location that is not directly tied to the places that belong to your community. So if you want to be part of this and you want to start creating your community, please contact us on Discord and we will include you in the alpha. On the second half of the cycle, we're going to be working on private communities. No, please go back. Okay. We're going to be working on private communities. That includes join requests. So whenever you want to join a private community, you will need to wait for an admin or a moderator of the community to approve that request. And also they will be able to send invitations to people so they can directly join. That will include private group chat, and that will fit different use cases. Next one. And this is one that I'm really excited about. So as I mentioned, private voice chat, it was like a stepping stone for this. So now communities will have a community voice. The administrator and moderators will be able to start a voice chat, a voice space, similar to what you can do, for example, in Twitter Spaces today. And it will be a moderated space, meaning that moderators will decide who can talk and who can be promoted as a speaker. Every member inside of the community, whenever you start the stream, will receive an instant notification. But in the case of public communities, you will be able to join the stream from outside of the community. You don't need to belong to a community to do that. Actually, the places that are linked to the community will be promoting that stream in the voice chat area on top of the chat. If there is an moderated open space being streamed right now. And we're going to be including a new section in the community browser. So we can see all the communities, public communities that are streaming right now. So you can jump into those streams, basically like a radio of Decentraland. You can go to any stream of any community that is public and jumping. And the good thing about this is that you can enjoy this anywhere in the world. So you can jump to the stream, you can start listening, and you can move around and do whatever you want. So yeah, really, really excited about this. And yeah, this is something that is going to come by the end of this cycle. Next. Oh, creators, Nico.
Hey, thanks, Alvaro. So yes, here I'll share what we'll do for creators in the next cycle. So there'll be also a lot of this is going to be related to bug fixing and polishing. This specifically has to do with polishing smart items. So we're trying to make smart items more accessible and easier to use. And there's a bunch of like low-hanging fruit we can do to improve this. For example, we can add some descriptions about what the smart items do before you add them to the scene. Because otherwise you just have a name and like a thumbnail and you're kind of guessing what this actually does. Kind of necessary to give you a little bit of description before you add it. Also things like simplifying some of the menus, having more tooltips, having hints in. So for example, with confetti or fireworks smart items, which I'm by the way using right now in the in-world version of this stream, these smart items are invisible until you activate them. And if you just add confetti to your scene, you might not know that you need to activate this externally with something else. You need a button or the scene admin smart item or something to activate it. And we need to hint about this. So we should add some kind of a notification in the UI telling you that this needs to be activated externally. And there's a number of other things, but let's keep it short. Let's go to the next slide. This next slide is about also a whole set of bugs that we need to fix also with the Creator Hub. So back in, I believe it was April, we did a little bit of an internal game jam. That's 2 days of intensively using the Creator Hub inside the foundation, and we found out that we had a lot more bugs than we thought we did. And yes, we've been prioritizing these, and I added several of the ones that I think are most important to fix. Like yeah, we'll be tackling this in the next cycle. I won't go into details because like this could, I could talk about this for hours. Let's go to the next slide. Also related to this, we have a bunch of drag and drop errors. So there's like little things with how you interact with the different items when you're trying to move them around. So there's 2 little videos here just illustrating a couple of these little bugs. So like, for example, you can't range select items. So it would be great if you could, click and press Shift to select a whole bunch of items all at once from the side menu. Today you can't. Or when you're using the free movement tool, you can only move one item at a time, even if you have several of them selected. It's a lot of like tiny things, but they make the bread and butter of all of your interactions inside of the Creator Hub. So it's very important to get these things, as smooth as possible, because they make the difference between enjoying the experience of building and getting frustrated by it. So next slide. I saved the best for last. Oh, sorry, no, not just yet. There's one before last. There's one. Well, oh, sorry. So the videos are playing now. Let's show them if you want. So there, I'm just trying to select multiple different items, just these sections of a wall. I'm trying to drag them somewhere else. But when I do, I'm just dragging one of them, the first one I selected, and not all 3, which is unexpected and frustrating. And the same goes here when I'm selecting several items and I'm trying to move them, but I can only move the first one I selected, which is counterintuitive and just frustrating. And sometimes you really need to move several things at the same time. So yeah, all platforms have their bugs like that. If you see like rant videos about Unity or Unreal, there's a lot of quirks like that in every platform, but we have a bunch of them, and we should have as few of them as we can. So the next thing has to do with a logs and debug panel. This is something that has always been a bit, unfriendly, especially in the new client. So we want to make these logs a lot more readable, allowing you to copy, filter, and all of those basic things. But also we want to redesign the debug panel. The debug panel we have today was really built for internal use, for like internal debugging. And there is some very interesting information there, but it gets lost in a sea of other things that are not relevant to you as a content creator. I believe there was something like 72 tabs or something like that. And I can only identify maybe 4 of those tabs as being useful for content creators. So we need to change that. We need to make it, more streamlined for being used in the scenario of someone building a scene rather than someone testing the client. And yes, that all needs a redesign. And now, yes, the best thing I was saving for last is, as we were teasing before, this lights. So you've seen some of what this can do in a fashion week, but we can do a lot more with that. That was just scratching the surface. So here are a couple of like little demos that Benzi did, like just messing around with the feature as it's still experimental. We want to take this feature into production and make it no longer experimental, make it something that anyone can use. So to be able to get there, like we have to do some optimizations and cover some corner cases of what happens with adjacent parcels and things like that. We have plans for this. It shouldn't be that much work, and I'm sure that we'll be delivering this by halfway through the next cycle. There's another little video there which I think is just amazing. Benz is an absolute wizard when it comes to building things in Decentraland. That doesn't look like Decentraland to me, but it is, trust me. So yeah, dynamic lights can be used in all sorts of crazy ways. And thanks to the changes that we did with the skybox, now we can, make the scene always be nighttime, which I think is kind of fundamental for lights to really shine. If you try to shine lights in the daytime, they won't be as noticeable, and you'll kind of miss out on the real potential. So these are two features that go very well hand in hand. So that's all I have. I think it's time to go into the questions and slide.
Thanks a lot, Nico. Amazing updates. I'm so in love with the lights. That video that Benson made is absolutely amazing. Let me just share the questions. I hope you can see them. Let me just zoom a little bit. And I will go with the first one. Is it possible to add our own prices to the game night arena? That way we can bring our visitors there and give them prices in world.
Hello. Maybe I can take this one. As far as I know, it's not possible to set up your custom prices. What you could do is to transfer them manually, like taking the address from the profile of the user and send the transaction. I think that would be the short-term solution.
Broken SDK 6 scenes in the world are everywhere. What can we do to improve the landscape of broken assets in Genesis City?
Well, that's a good question and a philosophical one. I remember a conversation recently in the DAO about like enabling the community to use the abandoned land in Decentraland. And I think there were really interesting conversations around that. And part of Decentraland is also respecting the rights of the landowners. And if they decided to leave an old scene, yeah, they have the right to do it. We in this Explorer, we are not making a priority to build the compatibility with SDK 16. To be honest, like there are so many other things that we believe are a priority. I would love to we have many initiatives to bring a lot of new content to Decentraland, so that could be a direction. I believe that's a short-term direction is to bring a lot of new content in SDK 7. And maybe when we populate all the foundation land, in foundation we have a lot of land, and actually it's not completely used, and we have an objective of filling it up. I also believe the DAO has a lot of land available as well, at least a few parcels. And when we get this barrier of scarcity of empty land, maybe it's worth considering again something like the proposal in the DAO, or maybe actually giving incentives to landowners to delegate their land for someone else to come and develop it. Like something like a basic rental contract for your land, and you rent to the community. Yeah, well, those are my thoughts about this problem. Yeah, the shorter version is let's bring more content that is new and fresh and interesting.
I think Aljop would like to say something, so let me just invite him to the stage.
Sure.
Can you check if you have the invite to speak? I just invited you, Alet.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Sorry, go on.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, I had popped out my my window just for this. So when we were going around ABCs this past weekend, I sort of posed this question, and one of the things that came to me while we were just kind of running around was Isle. I don't know that they've been active on here for a while, but they had a scene, and I know that other people have done this where you can load multiple scenes onto an estate, and then based on whichever scene I choose to click on, I can have a completely different experience. Let's say Canessa and Bay are also on the parcel or on the estate. Then they load a completely different scene, and there might be walls in different places. I'm just thinking of something like that, right? Just because it's called land, and we've got this smart contract. It is virtual, so it is possible to have concurrent experiences that are spatially different. And just because it's a broken scene that's loaded on for the NFT, I'm just trying to think creatively, right? It's a virtual space. So if I'm going to have an event and there's a bunch of, I don't know, broken scenes around me, I know that in the past, at least in SDK6, if there was this one scene that was down by uh, uh, Stateless Road, down by Baby Dolls, where it was this Coliseum and it was constantly broken. And maybe just like not load that, right? I don't know. I'm trying to think creatively, and instead of thinking in real world context. And I don't want to. Um, it, we don't have to have the conversation here. I just wanted to present it as a challenge to people to think about it creatively, because yeah, I don't want to put anybody out. I don't want to wreck anybody's NFT. I understand the smart contracts that were created back in 2017 or 2020 or whenever. But still allow people to have their scene deployed. But it's a virtual space. So can we fix the part that's broken and have a better experience for everybody? Because wandering around, especially places that have multiple floors, and they built it with elevators to get up and you can't get up there. It's just like so much of Decentraland doesn't work in its current state, and I'd love to be able to find a creative solution that could fix that. Thank you.
Thank you for the input. Yeah, definitely it's a virtual space, and this is software. The explorer could not render the scene if we like mark the scene as broken, for example, or like I think we have the capability of banning a scene, in the sense like if someone is doing something that is illegal or it's reported as foundation in the client, we can like swap it by like empty land, for example. So if we receive a complaint, we can go through that. I think that's maybe a solution, like to enable to report the scene somehow. I think
I
the
like
different thing is like, yeah, go.
No, I was just gonna say I like that concept, because with Farcaster, it's a protocol, and I know that you guys refer to Decentraland as a protocol, and I like thinking of it like that, and that there is this other client, the Bevy client, and I download it and play with it. It's like, you want to see all the scenes, the broken and the ugly and whatever, then load this other client. But for this particular client, we want to have optimal, efficiency in terms of operation. And I, I mean, that's kind of how not kind of, that's how I still think of Decentraland. And it is difficult to create a totally different client, but it's like, yeah, it's just a different way to think of it. So yeah, I just appreciate you mentioning that and bringing that forward. So thank you.
Pleasure, we'll take into account, definitely.
Awesome, amazing discussion. Next one is NFT address gated scenes in addition to wallet address gated scenes as a missing feature, I would guess.
I
do
don't
have
think that we have in the roadmap this, Nico. I don't know, Nico, if you have any input on this.
We don't have this in the roadmap. It's something that we've talked about in the past for sure. Something we could do, yes. It's something that can be done currently if the creator, uses some custom code to do this. It would be nice to like directly forbid players from even loading into a world, for example. That is a feature we could do in the future, yes. But today, like you could do a scene where the content just doesn't load in case you don't own an NFT. That's doable, but of course, takes a little bit of work.
Thanks, Nico.
If we
Yeah,
consider
well,
that it's a priority, we could look into having it in the next cycle, but not the one that we're about to start now, but the following.
Nico, I have a question on that. I believe in a music fest a while ago, we had done like a VIP area. I thought that was NFT gated, but was it wallet gated?
I believe it was NFT gated. Yes. And as I mentioned, like you can do that kind of logic as part of the scene's code. That can be
Okay.
done and it's still possible. But yeah, like I think what they're asking there is to like not allow you to even load the scene, which wouldn't
Oh,
be
I
possible
see.
right now.
Yeah. So it's just access the scene can be NFT address gated, but loading is different, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or
Cool.
as that scene did, like you could have a VIP area that has a door that doesn't open if you don't have this NFT. Like, you
Yeah,
can,
that's what I believe
you know,
it was that I was thinking of. Okay.
thanks, Nico. Next one. Okay. Will there be a monetization feature such as sending gifts or tipping either directly in world or during a community streaming?
I could take that one if you want to start. Um, this is a really good idea. It actually came up from a lot of our party full streamers as well when we had done that integration with them. Um, it is, I can let the team talk more to the technical side. We love this idea, and obviously the ability for everyone to pay for a scene you love is great. I think there's some technical challenges on the money sending side, but it is something the team has been looking into to just see what's even possible. But Nico, I didn't know if you wanted to share more.
Yeah, we were actually just talking about this with Kim yesterday. So we have example scenes where you have this functionality, but you would need to add this functionality via code. We're looking into how we can do this also as a feature in the Creator Hub. There's some special challenges because everything crypto comes with security concerns and stuff. So it's not so quick and easy, but it's something that is very valuable. So we should look into it.
Yeah, if I can add a comment on the technical side, I think the boomer is that in order to send any transaction to the blockchain, at the moment, you need to move out of the client into a web context in which you can sign the transaction. And I think that's the boomer. We have some plans to enable to do transactions directly on the Explorer. To, for example, send wearables and also make purchases in the marketplace directly from the client. But yeah, maybe it's a little bit more far away than next cycle. So I don't want to commit to it just yet. But definitely we have been discussing it.
Will the foundation also be offering jobs as part of the career quest?
I can answer.
We have the job board open always. Like if you fit in any of the positions. I don't know, Kim, if we are highlighting the opportunities in foundation as well.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. I will link it right here, but we do have current job opportunities. So adding that here. So there are a few with the foundation right now. We are also going to be posting a few more open calls and smaller part-time things like create social creator opportunities as well. So stay tuned on that. But we will have jobs outside of the foundation highlighted during Career Quest too. And yes, as Bay said, the foundation team will be in world to talk about jobs during Career Quest, and Bay just interviewed a lot of us all about how we got here, what our advice to get started, what to look for if you're looking for a career in DevRel or engineering, etc. So there will be a lot of tips and tricks along that path as well. But this job board that I just dropped in is always the foundation jobs, and then we're also working with Gino to ensure any Regenesis Labs jobs are also public on this page, so you can just bookmark this for any future jobs.
Thanks, Kim. Can someone make some YouTube shorts about why the new features are going to take over the world?
Yes, and I would love you guys to as well. Yes, we're working a lot more on YouTube Shorts, short form creative, and that is what the social content creator program I'm building with Dana will highlight too. So this is Dana, did you post this question? She was like, who's going to help me do this? But yes, 100%. We have so many amazing features that we want to highlight, and the best way to highlight them is to show them off. So, yes, there will be videos from us, but also you guys give a really unique perspective in your social content for why you like the feature and what you're working on and how you use it. So, we find UGC content, which is user generated content, tends to sometimes outperform the foundation content. So we're working on a program to help amplify those voices.
Thank you, Kim. The next one, when AI create a hub.
So about this, I know that there's someone in the community who is doing some experiments with this, and he's working closely with the DAO. It's very much an experimental thing, but it's showing some promise. On the other hand, it is possible to use cursor.ai for everything code together with the Creator Hub. And that is something I was actually really excited to dive deeper into in the office hours. So stay tuned for like more information about how we can do that. So yeah, that's what we have in the near future.
Thank you, Nico. Which cycle and year connected to this cycle worlds are going to be a priority with a visibility SDK 7 adjustment and extra potentials in Decentraland?
So we plan the cycles one at a time. So we already staffed the next 2 months of work, and now we are working in the planning of the next cycle. And we take it one at a time. I think that's the best way to be flexible enough to change course based on the results of what we are doing. So for me, it's hard to commit on a particular cycle in the future and what will be the priority. As Nico was mentioned, on the past, we have been on drilling down on social and polishing and onboarding. For the second half of the year, we'll continue on social. We'll bring a lot of new content. We're working a new Genesis Plaza and showcasing the most interesting thing that Decentraland has. That is you, our communities, and the regular events you host. We want to put the users in front, like a Hall of Fame and that stuff. So yeah, that's the visibility that I have right now. Yeah, sorry that I cannot commit to like making worlds a priority just now. But all of the SDK improvements that we are doing, they are both working on worlds and Genesis City as well.
Thanks, Yemo. Are we going to get video chats live streaming?
Yes. Very, very soon. Probably this cycle.
What?
We'll see. We are not committing in this meeting, but I mean, like I don't know if you remember Decentraland Cast is a web application that lets you share your camera and also share your screen from the web into the scene. And we have that used to work only on in Worlds. We have tested a feature it's working in Worlds and Genesis City. Looking forward to revamp that web page and also integrate it in the admin tools. But yeah, if we cannot make it this cycle, the next one for sure.
Awesome. Okay. How has the foundation concluded that the act of minting a name similar to a founder or a foundation employee equals impersonation and it's ban-worthy?
Well, the employee that was being impersonated reported the user because he or she received a lot of messages from many people confused about the situation. And I think that was enough.
Thanks, Emma. Around May 2024, on 2.0 keynote was shown flying avatar with a physics engine on the avatar. Is it possible to release this engine to just track around the avatar?
I don't remember that keynote.
That was during the summit that we did in Buenos Aires. One of the videos that we showed as possible locomotion was like an avatar flying, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, I remember. Yeah, new locomotion systems, not in the priority right now. I believe they are awesome, but I think we're first focusing on the social features first, making it more, adding new layers on how you can connect and communicate with other people through Decentraland. And I think after that, when that's ready, making it more fun will be the next. And locomotion is it's a really good target. Yeah, but yeah, I don't know when.
Awesome. Is there any reason or limitations behind why animated water 3D asset have never been added in the Creator Hub assets?
I
Yes.
think the reason. Oh, go for it.
No, well, the reason is that this was done as a, say, Unity shader, which was never exposed as part of what the SDK is able to handle. So it's not just not available on the Creator Hub, it's not available on the SDK as well. We've explored the idea of having different shaders beyond the normal material shaders we have, maybe something, yeah, water, lava, other things that have their own glowing, flowing properties that are very much like render optimized. It's one of the many things that I'd love to do, but well, we have to prioritize, and it hasn't been done yet.
Why trumps were removed from the 2.0 client? I guess those are the DAO roads that had the trumps on.
Yes, those were SDK 6 scenes, which were never migrated. Actually, I built those myself, and it was quite a lot of manual work to publish each one to their specific place. And if we wanted to migrate them and add them again, it's possible, but it would take quite a bit of work.
Thank you, Nico. Fetching the user data on load was useful for some scenes. Will that be coming back?
So I believe this refers to the fact that sometimes this user data is not available on the first tick of the scene, depending on like price conditions about how different elements of the scene load. Sometimes if you try to read user data at the very, very start of the scene, that information is not yet available. And yeah, it's something that I personally consider a bug. There are workarounds for this because, of course, you can ask for this data not at the very start of the scene, but you can delay that or add a system that checks and keeps checking until the information is available. But that adds complexity. Would be amazing if we wouldn't need to burden creators with that that responsibility to handle it like that. So I consider that a bug, and it is on the backlog of things that need fixing. Yes.
Thanks once again. When can we expect the new Genesis Plaza build?
The team is already working on this, so sometime near end of the cycle, 8 weeks from now.
Thanks, Emil. Where within the terms of use Discord server rules or elsewhere can I find the rules that dictate that the foundation rules govern user DMs? I can take that one. So just for context, while we don't actively monitor user-to-user DMs, we absolutely may step in if something serious is reported to us, like scams, harassment, threats. The safety of the community is a priority, and that includes interactions that are also happening in private, especially if they cross the line. So also in addition to that, when a team member from our team or anyone from the foundation reaches out in their official capacity, for example, to issue a warning, or in any of the cases that we need to step in, how someone responds to that do matters to us. If the reply is hostile or abusive, even if it's on a DM, we will treat it in the same way as if it happened publicly. So that is part of our rules in Discord, to be respectful. We expect mutual respect, and that expands to our team as well. So while we don't govern casual private chats, we do take actions when those chats becomes harmful, abusive, or violate the community's trust. So I hope that answers the question, and if anyone has any follow-up questions, you can always send me a message. So next one, when and where can we buy the Decentraland wax?
Do we
So
have a mall
spoiler.
here?
Yeah,
What is
I'd love
that?
a mall. But in the meantime, we've been working behind the scenes on a Decentraland store for some official merch. And so we've landed on a partner. We're just getting all of the logistics set up, and we'll definitely make an announcement for everyone once that is live. I know it's been a long time coming, so we're really excited, but it is in the works. So soon. Finalizing designs and the website now.
Thanks, Kim. From Dr. Drip, a question: users of MetaMask who also have Rainbow Wallet installed cannot log in. And I think that is issue that we discussed with Dr. Drip on a private message some times ago. And he went to the trouble to add all the details in the GitHub link, and I did share that with the team. So Dr. Drip, let me double check internally if that is in the backlog, if we have someone working on it, and I'll send you a message. In case anyone from the foundation would like to add something, just let me know. I'm just sharing for context because I'm aware of that situation. But yeah, I will keep you posted. Just allow me some time to double check the status. The next one is from Metawolf. Good morning. I would love to know how is it going, the development of the Decentraland Physics merch shop. I think that's the one that Kim just mentioned. Really hyped about
Yeah,
one.
the shop will be coming soon, finalizing merch designs, but I can't wait. Once we get them, I will send you all an update, and I'm sure for this community we can work on some special deliveries. So stay tuned. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Kim. Yemo, that one is for you. Will you ever be on a big Web3 conference stage?
I'm in ECC at the moment. I didn't give a talk this time. I have been in the stage last year and in different conferences. I'm planning to go to Korea Blockchain Week, that is end of September. Really interested in getting into the Korean market. Maybe I can have a talk there. It's a huge conference for the Asia part of the world. Yeah, so maybe that will be the next one. We'll see.
Thank you, Yemo. Why
Yeah,
would
and
support? Sorry, go ahead, Kim.
Can I just add for additional context? We also work with a team that helps us get on a bunch of physical stages, but also virtual ones. So you'll see us on podcasts. Bay's done a lot of podcasts. We have Yamel slotted for a few podcasts coming up. And I go on them as well. So depending on the topic, we try to get in as many physical and virtual stages as possible. So definitely plan to see us out and about over the next few months for sure. And Bay is speaking at one in September, I believe. Oh yeah, she just mentioned it. We're speaking at conference in September, and then we have DevCon in Argentina. So definitely expect to see something coming around that soon.
Thanks, Kim. Why would support DM a user and not open a ticket to handle official server business when it's consistently advertised that support will never DM you? I think we already touched upon that. The fact that we have, just for context, of course, the fact that we have a pop-up in our profiles that we will never DM users, that one is mainly targeted at new people that enter the Foundation Discord server to give them a heads up, because we do have, unfortunately, scammers in the servers that we ban pretty much every single day that tries to approach other new people over DM to help them solve an issue and all that. So that is the main reason why we do have that disclaimer, which doesn't mean that we are not allowed or we cannot send a DM. Our team has been in contact with many community members privately, depending on a different case, when we need some sensitive information or we need to approach over a discussion that is not issue related. So us having that disclaimer does not prevent us from initiating a conversation if there is a need to. So thanks for the question. Still waiting for URL linked image feature in the Creator Hub.
So not sure who asked for this, but if you go into the Creator Hub now, into the Smart Items tab, you will see that there is an image smart item that has been there for a month, maybe more. And yeah, this allows you to add images from URLs. What we need to do, which is part of what I shared earlier, and one of the things that we will be working on in the cycle, is making the UI for this friendlier, because right now this image smart item includes a lot of information about the material component, which includes a whole lot of things that are not relevant for you if you just want to paste an image with a URL. So we want to make a version of this which is just one field. What is the image URL you want to show, and that's it. But the smart item for this already exists. It just has a few more fields than I would like to have there. And the simplified version will be coming soon.
Maybe an additional question. Do the images need to be placed via Pinata or IPFS? Maybe related to that.
It is important, though, that the images are hosted somewhere that will not block their images. They will not block content from being shown on other sites, but not necessarily IPFS. It could also be in several other sources. I believe, for example, IamGur is one other good source that allows you to do these things.
Thanks, Nico. When workouts will be on the Genesis Plaza user interface?
I can take this one. I don't know what if it's referring to this exactly, but on the billboards on top of the Genesis Plaza, the works are being shown. Actually, I noticed there was a small error that was showing coordinates for words, and we changed that, and we are showing the name of the word. So if I misunderstood the question, please ask again, but they are showing there.
If there is an event in a world, that will be visible on the events board. Maybe whoever asked the question can expand on it, but maybe that specific community member had in mind just to give more visibility to worlds. But I may be wrong. So if anyone wants to expand on it, let us know in the chat. In the meantime, I'll go to the next one. Can we please obtain a proper translation of the Blender stats to the Creator Hub stats, such as triangles, objects, and faces? That would help greatly. The question is from Kairos.
Yeah, that's a great point. It's something that we should add to the docs. Also, there's a known issue with Creator Hub stats sometimes just showing wrong numbers and like number of triangles or materials getting like incorrectly counted. That is one of the bugs that we have to fix on this next cycle. So that can also explain if you're seeing different values there. But if it comes to like looking at different things that are being measured, then yes, we should add something to the docs about this for sure. Thanks for raising it.
Thanks, Nico. Will smart wearables be incorporated in the future? From what I know, it's not on the current roadmap, but if anyone else wants to expand on it, let me know. Nico, maybe?
Yeah, that's the right answer. We don't have it at the moment. This is personally a feature that I would like to have, but we didn't put it in this cycle. We'll see for the next one.
Thanks, Nico. I just want to congratulate you all for the great work that you have been doing. Awesome. Thanks for the positive feedback. We'll make sure to share that with the rest of the team because they have been putting the hard work for sure.
Thank you.
I'm definitely skipping that question. I would appreciate if the questions are asked in a respectful manner. So skipping that one and going to the next one, gaming instead of opening a support ticket, we also touched upon that. So in case anyone has any further doubt, you can always send us a message. Thanks. When will Decentraland go hand in hand with other platforms and builds together instead of ignoring every other platform? Not really sure what's the context for that one. If anyone wants to expand on it, or maybe if you have any comments, but I'm not really sure on that one.
Not very clear. Sorry.
Yep. Is there any boundaries from using the Decentraland Plaza for events by the foundation?
I'm not sure what this person means, but if you have a follow-up, let us know. But generally speaking, you can do events like if you want to do something in the game arena, which we built, like you could totally meet up anywhere and host an event. But if there's a specific thing, let us know.
Maybe the question was like, in case we have an event, if we can host it in Genesis Plaza, I guess. Not really sure. So I'll go to the last one, which is there will there be a released VFX animation when changing variables like it was in the previous version? If yes, when? Extra plans on animation for the teleportation?
Well, not this cycle, maybe next one. Yeah, I think we have identified that as a part of polishing. We started with the logging screen with some animations there. Moving to the backpack and teleporting to be next. Yeah, not sure when, probably the other cycle.
Is there a fix coming for the all avatars facing northward? Thanks, keep up the good work. I think we have someone working on the issue. I saw it a couple of days ago. Let me double check what's the status, but it should be fixed. Can't really share an ETA at this point. I just need to double check the GitHub link.
Sorry, Caceres, I've been removing this question because this was already answered 2 times. I don't know if you wanna add any other comment on this one, or I will just drop it.
Yeah, let me just read that one, and I hope I have an idea, of course, who is sending those. I hope that the feedback that we are sharing today would be sufficient. Not really sure based on all the information that I have been publicly sharing, and I try to be as transparent as possible in pretty much our Discord server, on the DMs, from a marketing perspective on X, as well as in the CBD. I try to answer all the concerns. Of course, we can't have everyone being happy with the replies, I guess, but I can assure that we did our best. So I'll just answer that one, and I hope
I can
have
add.
the message.
Yes, Doyan, I think also we can be very clear on the process. If you are getting messages from someone that you believe is an impersonation of anyone, we'll make that process clear so that you can report it. But impersonating anyone in Decentraland is against our terms of service. So we will make clear what the process is if you are seeing that happen.
Indeed. Yeah, any reports on people that impersonate foundation members or pose as support staff, regardless of what their profile name is, you can always send it in the report, a scam channel in Discord, chat, email, whatever works best for you. We do have several measures in place in Discord that prevent people from using our names. We have moderating tools in place that will block such people or will ban them instantly as an automation. Of course, some may slip those tools, and that's when manual work comes into play. But yeah, feel free to share anything. We take all of these pretty seriously, and we'll try to action them as soon as we see them. Is there maybe in development other skyboxes that can change, interact with the current one?
So not just yet, something that we've talked about quite a bit, and it's something we'd love to do in the future. What you can do as a workaround for now is actually something that Kaze has done in one of his scenes, which is create a fake skybox, which is just creating a big cube with images drawn on it. And if the cube is far enough, like it looks like the proper skybox. This, of course, works great in a world, not so much in the open Genesis, Genesis City. But yeah, in the future, we'd love to also explore changing the color of the sky or the intensity of the ambient light and things like that, but not in the short term.
Thank you, Nico. And as Nico mentioned, that's pretty much what we were checking on the Creators Academy last workshop, how to do a basic skybox in Blender that you can apply to your scene. Of course, mainly applicable to a world, although I guess if you have a pretty huge estate, that may also work in Genesis City. So yeah, once we have the recording, we'll share that one. For the meantime, while we have something on the roadmap that may answer that question. Is there maybe in development, we already answered that, will ever the sun will cast rays?
Casting rays and sunbeams are post-processing effects. We actually played around with those a few times. We are focusing right now on making the client more performant when including those because are highly demanding. Maybe for high performance device, we can include it, but it's not in the plan right now.
Thanks, Alvaro. And I think that's the last question. Does anyone has any last questions? send them in the Slido, send them in the Discord meet. I know that we went quite a bit over time, but really happy to have so many questions. From my side, at least, I definitely appreciate the interaction. These meetings are much more fun when people are enjoying participating, joining the conversation on the stage as well as sending your questions on the Slido. If no one has any questions, from my side, thanks a lot for joining. Appreciate all of you and the time that you took to be part of the all hands meeting. The next one will be in 2 months, and with all the voice chat and new features, I hope that we'll slowly start to transitioning those meetings to be fully done in the client. That's our end game when it comes to those meetings. So once again, appreciate the time. Enjoy the rest of the day and the rest of the week. And I'll see you next time. Have an amazing day, folks.